Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome yet again to the southern wing of the Stink Bug Works. Boy, look at that. That's a full cup of coffee. This morning, I wasn't really planning on making a video because I didn't have too much to share because, as you can see, I'm actually working on this as we speak. And this is what my bench looks like when I'm working on this stuff. Anyway, I've got some more fabric on my dummy motor here, and the plan is this. I'm going to cut some foam blocks to fit in this space right here, and I'll make one that's this long, and then I'll make another little piece to fill in this specific area here, and I'll glue them up to this surface. Now, by the time I do that, this surface, I'm gonna put one more coat of 3/4 ounce on here, and I'm gonna wrap the 3/4 around here. The whole purpose of that is I'm gonna have an angle break here. This second piece of foam is gonna have, this is a convex curve. This is gonna have a concave curve. Just to give it some style points. And I'm gonna have to probably get in and dig that part of the foam out, at least in the area where this screw goes and this screw. And because this screw can move a little bit, I'll have to hog out a wider area. So that's why I want a big hard surface in there. So as I'm digging in here with dental tools and scraping foam away, I'll know when to stop when I get to here. So that's my plan for this. A coat of 3/4 ounce rolled over, put those things on, and then more 3/4 ounce. This thing still is light as a feather. I mean, it weighs virtually nothing. So a little bit of weight here, that'll be fine. That way I can move the motor up to compensate for it. And talking about moving the motor up, in the mail yesterday arrived the motor for the 26-inch Swifter. Now, I've had these water-cooled motor mounts. We've all seen these things. These are a dime a dozen. I think Steve Vaccaro over at Offshore Electrics sells these. And let's talk about motor mounts. Motor mounts, I don't think, got enough thinking in the process. And here's what I think happened. Back in the days when RC boating first became a thing, and specifically electric RC boating, there weren't a whole lot of parts available for us. We generally used car motors or airplane motors, and a lot of us wound up with car hardware and airplane hardware modified to work in a boat. Now, in a car and an airplane, it's real easy to mount a motor because, in a car, the motor's just right there, and, here's your gear train, and you get at the gears, or the screws. There they are. Or in an airplane, you shove it up into the nose, and there's the screws, and you get at them. In a boat, you're working in a confined space at times. You have these motors angled down, and you got them close to the deck for obvious reasons. And so these screws are just a pain in the ass to get at. And I think the only reason motor mounts, this style motor mount exists, can be traced just to using what used in airplanes. Let me relate a little story. There's a reason railroad tracks are the width they are. And the width of a railroad track is the distance between one oxen's asshole to another oxen's asshole when hooked up to a cart. That's right. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, men made, carts pulled by oxen, and they would set the wheels right where the oxen's feet were, and that established a width, and that width has gone down to centuries. A Model T Ford, same width. Railroad tracks, same width. Why? Well, it's because that's what we've always done. Well, that's the same thing with motor mounts in boats. Why are they the way they are? Well, that's what we've always done. Let me tell you what I'm going to do on the Swifter. Since motors have been getting bigger and heavier, they've gone to making these. Actually, it's a front support. If you're thinking airplane, it's a rear support. I always call this the front of the motor, although technically it's the rear of the motor. So anyway, we'll just call it this end. So they made these supports to go to this end. Well, I'm going to just put two, and I'm going to make two plates out of G10. I have a lot of G10, and the extra gram or two, the carbon fiber, I'm going to make it out of G10. And just like this had two rails where this bolted in, I'm going to make two rails of G10. Imagine these are just G10 rectangles. And I'm going to cut a slot. And to get the motor in and out, you will loosen the bolt, slide it down. And because I'm going to do it upside down like this, I'm not going to do it down here. Why do I want to fight getting in here? I'll have them up here where I can easily reach them. So I'm going to set up two blades of G10 that are fairly tall, and I'm going to hang the motor right there. And that is going to make getting the motor in and out just really easy. Loosen four easily accessible bolts, and the whole motor comes right out. Boop, there you are. What do you think about that idea? Until next time, jet out. Boys and girls, here's a quick addendum to today's video. In looking at this, I'm not entirely certain. I'm going to have to move the motor back, no matter which way I mount it. Even no mounting block here at all. To be able to get at the batteries, I am in a situation where I cannot make a decision until I get hardware mounted. So my next step will be to mount hardware and then determine where this can go. My goal is going to be to get the motor back this way as much as I can, which may mean having the servo up forward, but that's cool. I can live with that. We'll just have to see. Okay, boys and girls, thought I'd give you an update. Jet out.